Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. We're scrolling through the comments section, just reading some of your guys' comments. And I saw some people there talking about tapering and whether they agree or disagree, and that's fine. And honestly, I don't know the path that all these things are going to take. We could have pullbacks, we could go up, and it could be unrelated or related to tapering. No one's going to necessarily know the exact, we'll call it impact that some of these things have versus normal markets going up and down. But there is something I'd like to touch on, is I charted some stuff out. These are what the market thinks. And this is what's important, is you do not want to go off of narrative. You do not want to base any of your investing or trading, anything off of narrative or news or what you think that impact could have on stocks or commodities or whatever it is. What you need to do is you need to come up with a thesis, see if something's cheap or expensive, and then verify it with what the prices are telling you. This is the ultimate deciding factor. So someone could say, for instance, that copper's going to drop because of XYZ. And what I would do is I would go straight to the charts and I would say, okay, here's copper. And this is the chart, and we're coming on up. We came into a pattern and then we broke to the upside. My question is, if we're going to go down, why are we breaking a pattern to the upside? And doing a little retest backtest, which is probably going to end up resolving itself upward. And then you've got other people, they're saying, well, you know, commodities are going to go down because China's slowing down. Well, why does copper look pretty dang good? It broke its downtrend here and has been moving sideways to higher. That one looks really good. I wouldn't say that looks bad. And then tin, this could be overextended. I could see that, and I kind of just drew this guy coming up, and we could pull back here, and it could be at a short-term top. It could. So I could obviously see that, but this thing's been launching higher. It's definitely not at its bottom, and it is progressively working towards the top end of this range here. We've got zinc. Zinc's obviously in an uptrend here, moving towards the upper side of its pattern. This has been going quite good for zinc. We've got molybdenum. Molybdenum broke its downtrend here in 2020, 2021, and has been moving higher. Will this pull back a little bit? It could, but overall, the downtrend's broken. We've got lead, and lead looks like it wants to take a run at its little pattern here, little downtrend line, see if it can break it. But that one's looking pretty good since 2020. And then we've got manganese. And I kind of just threw this in here. Hopefully that seems like a decent chart that it's been kind of going up, and now it's been moving higher recently. And then looking at the overall complex here, the weekly, monthly, and year-to-date, the year-to-date, outside of coal being extremely high, but cobalt 75, lead 25, aluminum 45, 83, 25, palladium's down, and that's expected. It always trades opposite of all the rest. 92, 164, 32, iron ore's down, rhodium's down, but everything else is up, and it's been pretty robust. So the trends are going on up, and the charts themselves look good for the majority of these commodities. And I'm not saying that we're immune to a pullback, but it would be very hard for someone to say that copper would go down with a chart that just broke out to the upside. And I see a lot of people that it's almost like they're trying to project what they want the market to do instead of looking at the data and saying, well, the data is this. The charts are reading this. You can't make up the direction it's going to go by I guess, coming up with news. You have to verify it with data. You verify it with charts. You verify the move. I don't think a crash is coming because real estate is doing fine. The inventory isn't there for it to crash. If historically your crashes come from real estate, well, then the data should support that. You should see high inventory and days on the market growing and all these things. And we're seeing the exact opposite. We should be seeing copper decline. We're seeing copper go up. We're seeing interest rates go up. So the one thing that I would recommend to new investors is you could be throwing around with all this news. And I'll do another clip on oil and some of the opinions that people have on oil. And then I'm going to show you the chart, and it's like, I don't know what these people are looking at. But when I go through this and I invest or trade or whatever you want to call it, is I look at the overarching things. It's like demographics, real estate. What are those two doing? If we're in an expansion phase and we're running low on inventory, inflation is probably coming. Inflation came. Now that we have inflation, look at the charts. What do the charts tell us? What do they tell us for all these charts we just looked at? They all looked pretty bullish to me. Could they pull back? Yes, but if we've got that tailwind behind us in the real estate market, I'm looking for higher prices. Doesn't mean they go straight up. Nothing goes straight up. They can obviously pull back. And what some of these people are doing is they're projecting a time frame and a price irrespective of anything in the markets, in the underlying market conditions, and what the charts say. And I just look at it like, how is this possible to project like an oil price of $25 a barrel when the oil price is breaking out of its pattern? I mean, you got to be crazy to do that, in my opinion. You're obviously going against the trend, and you're going against what the market thinks. You're going against absolutely everything. And I mean, that's okay to do if it's valuations, but not if the trend is intact and rolling higher. That's me. But and I think we just broke out of a big move, at least in oil. And copper, I think, is going to go far higher. All their solutions are going to have copper in it. So if they're going to try to push this stuff, copper's going far higher, far higher than where it is today. Nickel's looking fantastic to do a breakout here. It looks like it wants to go far higher. And all these other ones that I showed, they all look pretty dang good to me. And subscribe to the channel. We'll follow this stuff. I'll post updates on it. And if you guys like this type of analysis, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.